Welcome back to the channel. Today we're breaking down 3 incredible high moat growth stocks that you can buy right now for under $200 a share. Now, I want to be clear, these aren't speculative penny stocks. These aren't companies on the decline. We're talking about cash printing businesses that have robust structural advantages, pricing power, and what we believe are secular tailwinds that can continue to widen their market moats. And we're going to unpack the fundamental business models of these companies, their growth catalysts, their financial health, and we're going to also talk about the risks of each name so that you can deploy your capital intelligently.
Yeah, I mean, the market has thrown out some incredible growth stories over the first half of this year due to short-term macroeconomic noise, creating a massive buying window for long-term investors. Now, I'm going to break down how a dominant e-commerce giant is compounding its cash flow while down nearly 30% year to date. And Rachel is going to cover 2 hyperscale mobility platforms that are quietly turning into a highly profitable monopolies. But before we dive into the raw financial data and some of our thoughts, do us a major favor, hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, hit that tap that notification bell as we track the structural market corrections and high growth opportunities every single week. So let's start in with stock number 1, and that's going to be Shopify, which is trading under the ticker symbol SHOP, and it's roughly around $110 at the moment of recording. Now, if you look at the stock chart, you might think something is fundamentally broken here. The stock is down over 27% year to date, but when you pull back the curtains and look at the actual business performance, the operational execution is nothing short of incredible. Shopify has rattled off 4 consecutive quarters of 30 plus revenue growth. They are a clear e-commerce winner, yet the stock has been punished purely because management's forward operating expenses guidance came in slightly higher than what maybe some impatient analysts wanted to see. And this is the ultimate long-term entry point, in my opinion. Shopify is no longer just a single website built there for small boutique businesses. They have evolved into the centralized operating system for global commerce. They power everything from small mom-and-pop shops to multi-billion-dollar enterprises like Nike, Mattel, and localized disruptors. When a brand integrates into Shopify's ecosystem using their payment processing, inventory management, logistic tracking, and cross-border checkout system, the switching cost becomes incredibly high. You can't just leave Shopify without completely upending your corporate infrastructure. Now, let's look at the financial health. Despite the drop, Shopify is printing cash, pulling in $476 million in quarterly free cash flow in their latest reported data. The stock currently trades at a hefty forward price to earnings multiple of about 107, which looks premium on paper, but is historically cheaper for a company compounding its top line revenue at this speed while scaling its cash flow margins. To prove how confident they are in this valuation, management just expanded their buyback program to staggering $5 billion. The core risk, though, to track here is execution on their enterprise expansion and keeping international fulfillment costs tightly managed. But if you have 3 to 5 year time horizon, buying a global monopoly like Shopify near 110 is an absolutely gift, in my opinion.
Yeah, I personally love Shopify. I'm a long-term shareholder of the business, and it is, wild. I mean, they've authorized, as you mentioned, a, $5 billion share buyback. Revenue growth is over 30%. They are consistently free cash flow positive, but we will often see these dips when there's maybe a tiny bit of near-term guidance friction. And I do think it shows that, at least in the short term, the market is not always logical.
It really does. Investors are acting like e-commerce is over, when in reality, Shopify is capturing more merchant wallet share than ever before. But speaking of platforms that are completely changing user habits, let's pivot to your first stock, Rachel. You've been looking at the delivery space, right?
Yeah, that's right. The first stock I want to talk about today is DoorDash, ticker symbol DASH. This is a business that's currently trading around $156 a share. And one of the things that's really impressed me about DoorDash is how they've transformed their unit economics as a business. I mean, this was once a very unprofitable cash burner. Fast forward to today, and they're increasingly becoming a margin powerhouse. It's kind of interesting because for years there was this bear thesis on food delivery that this was a low margin commodity business with no consumer loyalty. And I think DoorDash has proven the bears wrong over time. They command about 55% of the total US food delivery market share. And I think one of the things that makes this business worth considering if you're an investor looking for stocks under $200 right now is their evolving revenue mix, as well as their penetration into non-restaurant verticals, right? This is not just a food delivery business anymore. They are obviously aggressively expanding into grocery, but they're also expanding into delivery from convenience stores, even retail delivery. You can have your favorite pair of shoes delivered from Target now from DoorDash. You think about the convenience layer they've built. Once a consumer pays, for example, for a Dash Pass subscription, they tend to stop cross-shopping on other platforms. Maybe they're ordering their dinner, their weekly groceries, their pet supplies through DoorDash. And so there is a really strong network effect there. This is also a business that has been seeing accelerating GAAP profitability, and their margin growth has been substantial. I think the primary risk is consumer spending softening, especially in a harsher recessionary environment. Now, to me, when I look at the ways they're expanding into non-restaurant delivery verticals, I do think that tends to provide a nice hedge for the business. But I also think that they have proven over time that their business is a bit stickier and certainly more recession resilient than the market previously assumed. So the market may be hard on DoorDash right now, but I actually think that this is a really solid business to buy and hold for the long run. And just to put a couple numbers on that, I mean, if you look at DoorDash's recent results for Q1 2026, revenue grew 33% year over year to $4 billion. They reported GAAP net income. There was some one-time events that put some pressure on the bottom line, but they still delivered about $184 million in GAAP earnings just in that 3-month period. And it's also worth noting as well, total orders increased 27% year over year. So you're seeing a lot of growth on the platform. You're seeing consistent profitability. And I think that this is very much a business that has a long way to run, particularly as they're expanding into a wide range of verticals for their customers.
Thank you for that, Rachel. And let me be honest, DoorDash is a company I initially doubted years ago because I thought the unit economics would never work. But seeing them lock down 55% market share and expand into high margin ad tech completely flips the thesis. They basically built a digital road for local commerce.
Exactly. And what's interesting is their biggest competitor is actually the third stock today and the other stock I'm going to be talking about. Except I will note this is a company that has an entirely separate global transport empire backing them up. Of course, the company I'm talking about is Uber.
Yeah, well, Rachel, before you get started, let me just say I'm a huge fan of Uber. So I'm pretty excited to hear about this one because I know the stock has also seen some pressure in the past few months.
Yeah, Uber, ticker symbol UBER, trading around $70 a share at the time of this video. They've had a rocky start to the year. The stock's down double digits year to date. I think there's a variety of reasons for this. I think one of them is short-term fears about autonomous vehicle competition. In my opinion, I think this has created a significant valuation disconnect for the business, particularly considering the level of fundamental growth that Uber is delivering. And Uber has effectively achieved a double-sided platform monopoly. They dominate ride-hailing globally. They hold the number 2 spot in food delivery under the previous company that I talked about today, DoorDash. But because Uber runs both mobility and delivery on a unified tech stack, their customer acquisition cost is substantially lower than any single point competitor. They can cross-sell a rideshare user into a delivery user for very minimal marketing dollars. The biggest fear, and as I mentioned, I think this is what we're seeing reflected in the stock price right now and the valuation, is that autonomous vehicles could really diminish Uber's business model. I think that completely misses the point. The companies building autonomous vehicles, whether it's Waymo or other automotive players, they don't have that same consumer-facing network. They need a marketplace to monetize their fleets. Uber is already doing an exceptional job of positioning themselves as the really premier operating layer for autonomy autonomous fleets. They're seeing massive new partnerships. I think that what many might be perceiving as an existential risk is actually going to turn into a multi-year tailwind for Uber. That's my bold prediction for this episode. But I think it's also important to note this is a business that has really transformed its financial story. And, they recently posted 15% revenue growth, 13 billion in revenue, expecting really solid quarterly guidance on an earnings per share basis. And they're also literally printing free cash flow. They've been scaling buybacks, and they're trading at a legacy value multiple, even though they are really delivering hyper growth tech fundamentals. So there are obviously regulatory pressures. There are market pressures. I think we've seen that Uber has repeatedly cleared these hurdles in the past. I think they'll continue to do so moving forward. And at around $70 a share, I do think that this could be a core portfolio holding for long-term investors.
I agree with that, Rachel. I mean, this is one that has a very nice valuation multiple right now, and it has a lot of growth opportunities that it can see thanks to a lot of the things you mentioned there. But now, bringing it all together, building wealth in the stock market doesn't require you to chase high-flying names, trading at thousands of dollars per share. Shopify, DoorDash, and Uber have already built out their multi-billion-dollar physical and digital infrastructure. They are entering their prime harvest years where revenue growth scales directly into free cash flow and structural profitability. Whether you are looking to hedge against inflation via platform pricing power or simply looking to buy high conviction tech leaders on a severe market dip, these three names provide an exceptional balance of growth and safety over the next 12 to 24 months. So which of these three sub 200 growth stocks are you buying or adding to your portfolio this week? Let us know in the comments below. Take care, have a good day, and see you all next time.